May I introduce you to brewing elixirs, or B.E.
Drusilla Gobblestone has recently started a new witching school. She's about to take her first magic lesson after accidentally overhearing a foreboding conversation as she hurried down the corridor.
Must hurry, must not be late.
It wasn't long until she found the correct doorway. Someone had scrawled the letters 225 in red wax across the door, and the sticky substance had dripped in streaks. She opened the door a crack and was surprised to find a space no larger than a broom closet.
Come in,
Called the voice of an older woman. Drusilla hesitated. Could this be one of the women she had overheard in Nurse Mooney's office?
Come in, dear. Come in.
Her eyes sought the woman's face, but the room was dim, lit only by a couple of gas lamps on each side of the wall. Ouch! Called the voice nearby. Drusilla had stepped on someone's foot. I'm terribly sorry. So tight in here, there's barely any room. That's okay, Drew. May I call you Drew? Came Zelda's cheerful reply. No harm, no foul. It took a few seconds before her eyes focused. Presiding over the class was a teacher dressed in traditional witch robes, complete with pointed hat. The woman must have been in her 80s, judging by her wrinkles and gray hair.
Good afternoon, dear. I am Professor Emeritus Medusa Middleborough. You are my new girl, my new partless potion maker.
I am, Drusilla said before glancing at Pauline. It was just the four of them in here. Drusilla's eyes darted to the scratched-up cooking pots. They sat atop pot plates on a makeshift table.
Good. May I introduce you to brewing elixirs, or B.E.
Middleborough.
As Pauline and Zelda already know, elixirs covers a wide range of items, such as hair tonic, snake coils, and of course, magic potions. And because there are so few of you, we've been allotted this lovely space.
Ouch! You just struck me in the nose, Professor, Pauline cried out.
Oh, sorry, dear. Not to worry. I'm sure it won't bruise. Gather round,
Middleborough said. Nobody moved an inch. They were already shoulder to shoulder.
We shall be making a fine elixir today. We've been having some problems, haven't we, dears? Going veg has made it harder to get a good brew. It's hard to find suitable substitutes for animal parts. Although I found a very old witching pamphlet written by a warlock of all people. It's called Elixirs Robotomy's Guide to Plant-Based Anti-Paralysis Potions. And it contains a lengthy recipe that I thought we would try. Please switch on your hot plate.
It was unfulfilling to switch on a hot plate when one was in the mood for a copper bat over a gleaming stove, and Drusilla bumped elbows with Zelda as she moved.
A little bit difficult, because we're not going to be able to use tongue of gecko today. And it's really hard to make an anti-paralysis potion without tongue of gecko. But we shall be substituting some other items. Poison ivy, for instance.
Despite Middleborough's proclamation to the contrary,
Pauline's nose was turning ever darker shades of purple that Drusilla could see even in the dim light.
You know, Professor, you aren't allowed to brew dark elixirs in 5th grade. I'm sure anything that has to do with paralysis is a dark potion.
Pauline complained in a nasally voice.
It's an anti-paralysis potion. Are you deaf? Are you deaf, dear?
Middleborough put an emphasis on the word anti.
And. And maybe you're not allowed. But maybe you're not allowed to use tongue of gecko today. It is really hard to make an anti-paralysis potion without tongue of gecko. But we shall be substituting some other items. Poison ivy, for instance.
Pauline
to do so in regular elixir making class. Maybe not over there in room 223 with Professor Cadelia Nip in the fancy smancy BE room where they make frou elixirs that will make their hair shiny and teeth glossy. Or is it hair slimy and teeth mossy? I can't remember. Now pay attention. This potion has over 5,000 steps to it, all of which must be done in the correct order. Add an ingredient incorrectly and the whole thing becomes a ticking time bomb that will blow us all to smithereens.
Burrow siren to interpretation of the castle being blown up. Drusilla covered her ears.
Yes, like that. Very nasty. So remember, safety first.
Middleborough cooed in a soft voice.
Today we begin, but the potions are unstable at room temperature. I'll have to take them down to the kitchen and store them in the fridge in between classes. Not to worry, I've been experimenting with the potion all summer, and Chef Natalia is quite used to finding my jars stuck in her refrigerator. She won't mind a few more. Come on then, don't stand there looking dumb. Use the knives provided to macerate those tiny mushrooms. We're using them instead of toe livers, so we're going to need a lot.
The hour passed quickly. Despite working diligently, Drusilla produced little more than a sticky salve in the bottom of a beat-up pot. Although it didn't look like much, Middleborough seemed excited as she carefully poured the substance into a mason jar and screwed out a metal lid. With such delicate movements, it was as if she were dealing with a powder keg. By now, the hot plates were rendering the closet stifling, and despite the threat of imminent peril from an exploding elixir, Drusilla began to feel sleepy. She grew so tired that she had a hard time staying awake in her next class. Gustonio Gavant's specialty was spycraft. Nobody moved around colonial America without her knowing about it, said another young teacher who introduced herself as Jacobia Hastings. In the middle of her lecture, entitled Wily Witches of Williamsburg, the woman's voice droned and Drusilla dozed off. She later awoke to find herself alone in the classroom with the professor staring down at her.
Enjoyed the lecture?
Hastings asked with no trace of a smile. She had sharp features with feline yellow eyes. Over her hair she wore a wimple, like the Catholic nuns at the cathedral in Blessings Hollow. I'm so sorry, Drusilla said, struggling to her feet. She stared at the teacher's wimple.
Oh yes, I'm old school. This is traditional teaching garb. One some of our founders wore, although in more modern times they have fallen by the wayside. Only I and Nephra wear them now. But don't you know you're supposed to be taking notes in class rather than sleeping? My tests aren't difficult, at least that's what my students have been telling me for ages.
I can't take notes. I don't have a notebook or a pencil, Drusilla replied matter-of-factly. The only thing anybody has given me at the school is 3 textbooks and a copy of Huckleberry Finn.
I'll give you some supplies,
Hastings offered.
I'm sure you didn't get a list sent to your orphanage. Oh, do watch out, Birdie swoops low.
Drusilla heard a flapping noise and felt something scaly and sharp like a claw brush the top of her head. An enormous brown bird with a wrinkly pink head had emerged from the classroom closet. It was the ugliest thing Drusilla had ever seen, and it landed on Professor Hastings' outstretched arm with a self-satisfied air.
Oh, Birdie, you're a naughty one.
What kind of a bird is that? Drusilla laughed.
What kind of a bird? Turkey vulture. had him for decades. He's the great-grandson of a bird I had when I was a child, Birdie the First.
With a tip of her arm, the professor encouraged the animal to fly to a gilded perch. Then Hastings began searching through her desk. It was a massive mahogany thing with engravings depicting the hunt. After rummaging about in the top drawer, the professor produced a notebook full of lined paper and some bright yellow pencils, as well as a thick tome entitled Witches of the New World. Take them, they're yours, said Hastings. But in return, I'd like you to come back tonight after you've had your dinner and take a little test for me. Just a simple thing, really. I hope you don't mind. Drusilla certainly did mind. What kind of school gave a test on a student's second day? Nonetheless, she remembered her commitment to staying positive and gave a forced grin.
My dear, you need to work on your smiling, baring your teeth like that. You look like a mad dog. So about the test, say about 9:30. I'll write you a note that will allow you in the hallway after hours.
I'll see you then. Hastings flashed a smile, and Bertie gave a strange screech that sounded an awful lot like,
Do as she says.
Poor Drusilla had no idea what was in store for her with the upcoming exam. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you enjoyed this Dark Academia story, know that it continues. You can click on the link at the end of the video, and you have two options. You can watch the story only as I continue to put it out, seamlessly picking up from where this story left off, or watch the version where you are my guest aboard a great glass airship and you receive personal attention before I begin to read the story to you. The choice is up to you, and if you enjoyed this video, please leave me a moon emoji in the comments. Good night.